Yesterday, Donald Trump nominated the great patriot, Congressman Matt Gaetz, to head up the Department of Justice as the Attorney General. Now, he would still need to be approved by the Senate, and whether or not that's going to happen or not, we will see. But the liberal media is absolutely furious.
What's your analysis, Ellie?
This is a crazy pick. This is a dangerous pick. I wish there was a gentler way to say it, but there's no use mincing words. I was a prosecutor for a long time.
And now you're a CNN contributor, so your opinion is garbage.
So Andrew Weissman, this to me, while shocking and galling, is the least surprising thing Trump has done since he won. I think.
Oh, that's why it was the top news story all day yesterday, and why you're whining about it 24/7.
I think since he won Tuesday night, yesterday he put Marco Rubio atop the State Department, and people at this table said, oh, this isn't going to be so bad.
We're going to have to keep an eye on Marco Rubio because he has deep neocon roots. Although he has been getting much better. Some of the neocons have kind of learned the error of their ways, but we're going to have to keep an eye on him.
This idea of that somehow Matt Gaetz is going to be the person who prevents and stops weaponization when he is the exhibit A to weaponization. I mean, we are in pure George Orwell 1984 land where, they say black is white and we're supposed to believe it.
We are in Orwell territory, and we're trying to get out because for years now, the Democrats have accused Republicans of every single thing that they themselves have been guilty of. Things are so strange that it's often impossible to tell whether or not the twits on TikTok are authentically melting down or whether they're making fun of the people who are melting down. Give me your opinion of this, and then I'll tell you what I found with my investigation.
Does anybody else feel like the red heart emoji has been totally ruined for them after this week? I did not realize until Wednesday that I have a habit of ending every text, DM, email, etc. with a red heart emoji. And now I feel like a red heart emoji implies MAGA. And so I
because of the color red.
No longer know how to punctuate my sentences. I guess I'll have to go back to using like an exclamation mark. What emoji are we using now in lieu of the red heart?
What do you think? Someone trolling or an actual authentic liberal lunatic? Well, upon examining the rest of the videos on her TikTok account and the comments on this very video, I can confirm that she is 100% serious. Look at all these comments from her deranged followers who agree with her. Blue heart or bust now. Yep, MAGA ruins everything. They're ruiners. OMG, same. I started using a blue heart or the hands making the heart emojis. This woman's using a pink emoji. Look at this one. I unfortunately bought a very cute red sweater last month that I also feel is ruined for me. They go on and on and on, and almost all of them agree with her. But speaking of red sweaters, Trump Claus is coming to town in a special order knit sweater that comes in red, green, or black from markdice.com, or click the link in the description below. Aside from the classic Trump Claus sweatshirt and t-shirts, which I release every Christmas, which come in red, green, black, or white, these are knit sweaters, so the yarns are different colors, and the design is literally a part of the sweater itself. These are special orders. You got to get your orders in soon, like very soon. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out. Excuse me, Congressman Fartwell, would you like to complain about Donald Trump nominating Matt Gaetz for Attorney General?
It's not going to happen. I know that's a different take than anyone else's, but it's not going to happen. And so if the president-elect wanted to amuse us today during these dark times, I will give him credit for having a sense of humor because I didn't think he had a sense of humor, but this shows that he might have a sense of humor.
You know what? Like a broken clock is right twice a day. Eric Swalwell may actually be correct. I'll tell you why in a moment. Here's John Fetterman, Democrat senator from Pennsylvania, wearing his pajamas and giving his take on the situation.
I mean, I would describe it as God tier level trolling to just trigger a full-on China syndrome to own the libs in perpetuity.
Yes. But this is getting very interesting because there is a very big possibility that he may not get confirmed by the Senate because we only took it over by such a slim margin. And he also just resigned his seat from Congress yesterday. So I think what's going on here this may be God tier level trolling, like Fetterman said. And if he doesn't get nominated or if he backs out of the nomination before it even gets started, I think the plan is for Governor Ron DeSantis to appoint him as the next senator from Florida to take over Marco Rubio's seat, who will probably get confirmed as the new Secretary of State. There's also a lot of talk, or shall I say fear, by the Democrats and the media that Ron DeSantis may appoint Laura Trump, Eric Trump's wife, Donald Trump's daughter-in-law.
To be able to serve in this role has really been the honor of a lifetime. Likewise, if I am able to serve, I would love to serve the people of Florida. This is my home state now and has been for 3 years. This is where Eric and I live. And truly to have that opportunity, I think would be incredible. No one knows better than I do the America First agenda or the goals of Donald Trump in the coming 4 years. So if I am asked, I would love to consider it, but I have yet to have a conversation with Governor DeSantis, so we will have to see.
That's a typical politician's answer, neither confirming nor denying that she will or will not accept, because there's no chance that she will. She has young children. She's not going to leave Florida to go and work in the swamp. In fact, I think any woman who has young children who becomes a member of Congress in the House or in the Senate actually is a terrible mother for taking that job, because they literally only have the weekends back in their home with their kids. And Laura Trump is not a terrible mother. She's not going to be the appointee. My money is on Matt Gaetz, which will be fantastic.
Why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
That little bit got him turned into a Seinfeld meme.
But why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. These people are odious on the inside and out.
When he made those remarks, it really set off the feminists and those in the media, and some of them, like this woman, even took it personally.
Being a woman in America is having a sitting member of Congress attack and body shame you publicly when you are 19 years old, and then having Donald Trump nominate him to be the Attorney General of the United States. That's what I'm going through today.
It's called Making America Great Again, and here's Congressman Gaetz when he was asked about his comments by a member of the fake news. Wait for it.
Is it safe to say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
You know, I think it will be much better if he gets appointed to the Senate by Ron DeSantis, because if he becomes the Attorney General, most of the time he's going to be just hidden away in his office behind a desk somewhere. Whereas if he's a senator, we're going to get to see him in committees. We're going to get to see him at press conferences. It would be much better. If you thought that the media and the Democrats were having a hard time dealing with Donald Trump's total victory last week, they're now having to deal with all of his new appointments. In reality is setting in.
And future president is moving quickly to fill the clown car and round out his cabinet before he changes his mind and fires them all. Moments ago, Trump announced that he has selected Fox Weekend morning show host, you can't make this up, Pete Hegseth, to serve as Secretary of Defense, because why not?
I'm sorry, man, but Pete Hegseth is a veteran and a retired officer in the military. And the clown car is filled with these people.
Hello, my name is Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have the honor of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services.
June is LGBT Pride Month, recognizing lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Americans. We observe LGBT Pride Month to mark the progress we've made in embracing a society of equality.
Progress! This is considered progress to the liberals. Uniformed members of the military doing this. Imagine the poor soldiers that have to actually serve alongside these people. Of course, because Pete Hegseth is white, the old bags over on The View, which is the most popular daytime television show in America, think that he is a racist and sexist.
I'm not surprised at this pick. I do agree with Adam Kinzinger that he's deeply unserious. He said this once: the Pentagon likes to say our diversity is our strength. What a bunch of garbage. In the military, our diversity is not our strength. I think that says a lot about who he is. I think what he said about women says a lot about who he is. He also said, first of all, you've got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, which happens to be General Charles Brown, Jr., a black man.
Oh, no. Let's hear from Mr. Hegseth himself, shall we?
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
Talking about the wokeness that has infested our military.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire, you got to fire the chairman of Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, has got to go. Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. And that's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, 1995, let's just make those the standards.
Back in the 90s, when America actually was great and normal. This is the dreaded comments that he made, which is why the Democrats are calling him sexist.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. We've all served with women, and they're great. It just, our institutions don't have to incentivize that in places where not traditionally, over human history, men in those positions are more capable.
That's right, sir. Women belong in the kitchen. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I instinctively said I was sorry. I'm sorry about that. We're making comedy great again in MAGA 2.0. But seriously, for the ladies out there, all of my shirts from markdice.com are now available in women's tees. Just go to markdice.com and then click up in the women's section of the store. And like I said, Trump Claus is available in a knit sweater. Red, green, or black as a special order. Got to get those orders in as soon as possible to make sure that you can get them in time for Christmas. Not just printed on like the classic Trump Claus, which is also back in the sweatshirt or the t-shirt, but these have the yarn, different colors, and it's woven directly into the sweater. They are fantastic. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.